What's going on, guys? It's Steve with Online Marketing Tips. Today I want to actually review a software that actually allows you to manage all of your tasks inside of e-commerce store or e-commerce brand, right? So this is going to allow you to monitor your orders, your sales, your tickets, customer support, Facebook, Instagram comments, everything all in one dashboard. So we're going to take a look and jump inside my computer, and we're going to see how this actually works and do a quick demo for you. See you soon.
Essentially, what we're doing here is we're centralizing all of the customer conversations across any channel. So these brands, they're not necessarily just working out of email and their phone anymore. They need to meet their customers where they are, and that's also on social media, SMS. It's huge right now. It could be live chat as well. Plus, I'm sure they are integrating a ton of like loyalty apps, review apps, and so on to really round out the customer experience. So what we're doing at Gorgias here is we're just centralizing everything to one unified inbox. And the reason we're doing that is because it just cuts down on a ton of time. They're not needing to constantly be switching between tools all day just to respond to customers. They also don't need to give their entire team access to the back end of all of their different tools because they can just access them through Gorgias.
Gotcha. That's another thing I was actually liking about the software is that you don't have to give a million logins. Like if you have a virtual assistant, or if you have, a team member that you want to be able to take over while you're out or whatever, everything is central. So I think that's really good for organization and just, again, like handing things off because people can see how it works.
Exactly. It makes it much easier on the agent because they're not needing to manage a bunch of different tools and in all these different silos. And also from a security standpoint, it makes a lot of sense as well.
Absolutely.
Now, our whole goal here with Gorgias is to save customer support teams time. And the reason that's the number one goal is because it saves them resources. They are running much more efficiently. They don't need to hire a ton of agents. And then with that saved time, they can then reinvest that into, engaging with customers or potential customers on every channel because Gorgias connects to all of them. So, engaging with them on social media or via live chat as they're shopping on the website, or if they're running email and SMS campaigns, spending more time responding to those customers where there's opportunities to convert and upsell and bring in more revenue.
Awesome.
So I say that because we're bringing everything into one view, which is a huge time saver in itself. We're also going to help them prioritize too. So that's what you're seeing here on the left-hand side. These are just views that they can set up to help them manage all their conversations, as they're scaling. Responding on a first come, first serve basis, like realistically, is not going to be the best strategy because some things are going to come in that they want to deal with right away. For example, someone that wants to cancel their order, or maybe they had a typo in their shipping address and they need to fix that right away before it ships out. There's probably like a less than 24-hour deadline on that. So they're going to want to take care of requests like that ahead of someone who is just maybe like leaving them love on social media or something. So we help them prioritize, and it's just done with machine learning, which comes pre-built with Gorgias. So they can just set up these auto tagging rules to just identify what the intent of the message is. And Gorgias understands a few dozen different intents in like up to 54 different languages, all relating to e-commerce and customer support. It's very accurate because we're only working with e-commerce brands, and it's trained on millions of e-commerce tickets. So we're able to, go ahead.
I'm sorry. So basically, if a person emails and says, "Hey, I have the wrong shipping address, or I need to change my, shipping where I want to send this product," right? If they were to type that like as their subject, then the software kind of knows, hey, this is probably an urgent ticket, and it categorizes it accordingly.
Yeah, it understands like all the different ways someone could ask that question, and then it adds that tag urgent to it. That's what you're seeing here. All these tags. This isn't something manual the support team does. This is just something Gorgias does.
Automatically, right?
Yeah, automatically. They just have to have this rule turned on. auto tag urgent.
Mm.
And it's pretty simple. Just when a ticket is created, if the message intent contains that they need to change their order or shipping or make any kind of cancelizations, it's going to add the urgent tag. And then when we flip over to create a view here, all we're doing is adding a view with anything with the urgent tag that the status is open. So meaning it still needs a response.
Okay. And one of the things I liked too, and I'll probably let you go over it, is like the different integrations. Can you like show just everything that integrates on the dashboard with Gorgias? Because I think like a lot of people don't even realize what all can be controlled through this dashboard or seen.
Yeah, ideally they're only responding to their customers using Gorgias.
Mm-hmm.
We will integrate with their, and we can flip on over to the integrations page, but we'll integrate with their email so they can just, connect their Gmail or their Office 365 or their other email provider. And we'll start pulling in all of their emails. We'll also pull in 2 years worth of email history as well. We have a native phone and live chat that they can use at no additional cost, so they can just toggle those on. Facebook, Instagram, you just need to log into Facebook from Gorgias, and then we'll start pulling in Facebook and Instagram comments, both on ad and organic posts. We'll also pull in their Instagram DMs and Facebook Messenger as well.
So that's a big key point that I noticed about your software, like being able to reply to like Facebook ad comments or posts that are on Facebook pages is a big deal too, because some brands get a lot of comments on there, whether it be just normal comments or maybe it could be inappropriate comment on there that you need to remove, and being able to catch it in this dashboard all at once is key, because now you don't have to create that task. Like somebody has to log into Facebook, go check the page, go look at the notifications, go see, you know what I mean? It's a whole manual process. So this is really, to me, it takes a lot of that stress out of just that one task of monitoring like the comments and the engagement on Facebook. And that's just on Facebook.
Exactly. We have a ton of brands that do their community moderation right out of Gorgias. The cool thing is we have unlimited users with every plan. So a lot of our customers have their whole companies working out of Gorgias, because it not only affects the customer support team, but also the marketing and social media teams as well. Plus, a lot of questions of customer support are shipping related, so they might have like their warehouse teams working out of Gorgias too. So it really is a tool that's used company wide. So, and they can have as many logins as they want.
Oh wow! So the users, they can create. So if a company has, hey, I've got 9 people that need to have access to the dashboard, they can just create users for each person and give them different. Do they have different roles and privileges, or?
Yeah, you can set up different like admin type roles or like basic agent type roles and anything in between. And it won't affect the cost or anything, versus like a lot of other tools out there, you're paying per license for every login. So our customers usually prefer that model because, again, we have all the social media integrations as well.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's huge, because again, like if you want, like there sometimes can be what is it called, like turnaround, like if somebody leaves the company and you have to replace that position, right? Instead of going, well, can you send over your 12 different logins that you have access to and give it to this new person? And that becomes like an issue when you're dealing with certain size, even e-commerce, because there are people who are assistants or virtual assistants that they have a lot of the information, and then you have to go retrieve it from them. Even if they just change positions, it's still a whole thing. So that's another positive that I like about the software, is that you can just literally create those users and each person has it. If I need to create a new user and give them all the permissions, I can just remove a user, and it's a lot simpler.
Exactly. And then when we're talking about, I know because you brought up like inappropriate comments and stuff earlier, and we were talking about the machine learning too, that applies to social media as well. So we can help them segment, not only bring all the comments and everything into comments, DMs, and Facebook Messenger into Gorgias, but we're also going to help them sort it by anything negative that comes in, anything like where you need to respond, like the customer's asking a question. There's nothing worse than, scrolling through Facebook and seeing a really interesting ad, you're interested in the product, and then you see a bunch of questions from customers and absolutely no response from the brand. To me, like,
Yes.
that's a huge red flag, and I often will not end up purchasing anything from them because I know, if I'm a customer, I'm probably not going to get taken care of.
Absolutely, because that's a logical way of thinking. It's like, okay, if I have a simple question about a product, and I haven't even bought it yet, you're still trying to make a sale, and I don't get an answer back in a reasonable amount of time, then why would I buy it and then expect a different level of support or service? So, and that's the thing that I talk about on like a lot of my other videos, is that that's one of those situations where, like you said, if you don't buy that in that situation from that company, like, you're just gonna go find it at a different company. But deeper than that, it's like, you're not gonna tell me, hey, I was gonna buy that, but since I didn't see those comments, I went over. Like, that's lost in it gets lost in that traffic. So I think that's another reason that being able to set up these notifications on different platforms, so that a person can have this up even through the workday and go, hey, let me check that, what's going on over here, and reply to it. It makes it way more manageable, because if you took all of this out piece by piece, like, one person managing all of this, becomes a lot more work, because they have to keep all these tabs open and all these apps just to reply and actually resolve things.
Right. And it cuts down on that first response time, which is key. Um, we have probably 8,000 customers around the world, and we categorize them based on their level of customer support. So levels 1 through 5. 5 is the top tier, like, exceptional level of customer support. So our customers in level 5 are getting back to their customers
Hmm.
in under 10 minutes. Some as little as like 2 minutes. And the
That's
key
awesome.
there is if you can get back to that customer while they're still in that kind of buying mode, you're much more likely to convert them. So they're going to see a big increase on their conversion too.
Absolutely. Yep. That's 100% true.
Now, I'll take you on a quick tour inside a ticket as well,
Hmm.
so you can see what that looks like. The thing about Gorgias is we're very niche to e-commerce. So all of our
Hmm.
customers are direct to consumer brands.
Hmm.
And we have integrations with Shopify, Magento, and BigCommerce.
Hmm.
Now, we actually have the best integration out there with Shopify out of any help desk. They're actually one of our investors here at Gorgias as well. So what that means is it's two-way integration. You can not only sync in any information from Shopify here in the sidebar, but you can also push actions and data back to Shopify from Gorgias too. So if I wanted to create an order, refund, edit, duplicate anything, I can do that right in the sidebar here.
I also like where you're showing, like, you're pulling up this, it looks like ticket, and where this customer is, but also it's showing me more information on that customer. Like, it says, oh, they have 22 orders. They've spent $779, which is good to know, because let's just say they haven't ordered anything before, and it's a new, or they just ordered one. Like, hey, well, this is their first experience, so you definitely want to try to resolve this, as opposed to maybe if they have 15 orders and you've had good communication with them. If you have to prioritize the person who's had good relation, they probably will give you a little bit longer to resolve it than the new person who's kind of like, well, let me just try them out. So as a person who's actually trying to prioritize tickets during the day, that information is really good to know, the notes
Mm-hmm.
and the tags, because now you can see how the best way to communicate with them going forward.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And you can even create rules. If we want to hop back on over to the rules here, you can even create rules based on how many orders and how much they've spent. So I'll use this VIP rule as an example. This is just identifying, this one's set up for anyone that spent more than $1,000 in the store, or they have more than 5 orders. We're going to add the VIP tag, meaning that they, this is a top customer that spent the most, and put them into a special bucket over here. And maybe you want to do something similar for, a new customer to make sure their very first experience impression of your brand is like top tier. So you can always keep them coming back and increase that retention.
Let me ask you this: do you all integrate with like services like ManyChat, like any chat software at all?
Yeah, so we have our own live chat, and then because we have an integration with Facebook too, we also integrate with ManyChat. How that works is as soon as they type a response in the Facebook Messenger, that will create a ticket here in Gorgias. So they'll go through the flow via ManyChat, and then as soon as they type out a response, then a ticket will get created. And then you'll see the previous flow in the ticket there too.
Okay. And you're also able to, if I'm not mistaken, manage like the direct messages from Instagram as well through the dashboard.
Yeah, we I think one of the only help desks that will pull in Instagram DMs too. So we'll pull those in. It's Facebook comments, Instagram comments. That's for both ad and organic. Instagram DMs, Facebook Messenger, Facebook reviews, and then we also integrate with Twitter now as well.
Okay, awesome. But this, like, this is one of those softwares that like immediately caught my eye because we work with so many different, especially Shopify stores, that even if they have things organized, it's like they still probably have to have 6 or 7 tabs open minimum to manage everything, right? Because I don't even think we touched really on like orders, like an order fulfillment component of it, but that's one component. Then you have the actual emails, right? So support emails, and then you're gonna have the questions from potential customers. Then you have the direct messages. Then you have the Facebook messages. Then you have the Instagram comments and the Facebook comments, and then you have the Facebook ad comments. So as you can see, it becomes a lot of different moving pieces to toggle back and forth between. And so when I saw this, like as a way to like put everything in one hub, like almost kind of like your business in a box in a way, I think it's extremely helpful. And I do think the software too is, I mean, there's a learning curve, but it's not like something like you don't feel like a person could manage. Like I feel like if that with a little bit of training, it's easily managed. The other part, and I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, is when orders come through, does this track like where the order is at all times for each customer, or is that something outside of the software?
So the way that works is if they have that information in Shopify and they have their Shopify store integrated into Gorgias, that information will be here.
Okay.
Right here in the sidebar. If we have a customer asking about the status of their order, very common question, we can just click on a macro, which is what we call like a templated response. It will actually pull in, here's an example. This is our macro suggestion too. So you can have tons of macros, but based on what they're asking, it will suggest the top 3 macros. That's just our machine learning in action.
That's huge, guys. That's huge. This is a huge time saver.
Yeah, so rather than me going back and forth with the customer, asking, what's your order number, this and that, going and searching for that information in Shopify, coming back, typing out a response, copying and pasting URLs, I'm just going to click on this macro. It's pulling in all the information. I'm going to click send. So I just responded in 2 clicks.
And again, like you could have had 7 or 8 of those same type of emails, and having that as a templated response, you could have answered 7, 8 people in probably 5, 6 minutes, right? To where now I feel like even a store that gets 40 to 50 orders or 50 to 100 orders a day, it's manageable in something like this to where you're not getting overwhelmed and you can really scale, because a lot of our clients are in that like scaling phase, and
Hmm.
so they have to be careful not to blow up their systems. So I always say, well, you got to find a system that works in a structure that you can do every single day to make sure that you're not leaving things off of the table. And so that's why I say I love the templated response. And I also like that, you know, all of our client stores are Shopify. So being able to have the order information on over there to the right is key too, because even if this template isn't exactly right, I can still always go back to that order number and say, okay, this person bought Wednesday. Okay, it looks like it's already been fulfilled. Like as a as a Shopify owner's perspective, you can see exactly where it is in the process, and it's like, oh well, this person just they just haven't gotten it yet, but I'll just send them an email instead of like, well, now the same email, even if I find your order tracking, I might go, well, let me make sure that it's fulfilled. Like you have all of that right there, so I really
Hmm.
love that feature.
And we have, if they're a brand that's comfortable with automation, which most of our customers are, especially as they're scaling and they need to take more and more of these repetitive questions off their plate,
Mhm.
um, Gorgias also comes with automation. So what that looks like is a couple of different things. So if we go over to rules here, we can set up a rule for the question, where is my order? For any customer of theirs that messages in asking about the status of their order, remember that's just our machine learning knows how all the different ways someone can ask that. It's not even going to show up for the customer support team. It's just going to automatically close the ticket and send out that macro too, so that their
Mm.
customer gets an immediate response and it's personalized directly to them. So we have
So,
brands like Steve Madden that are automating like 20 to 30% of their tickets with rules like these.
oh wow. So if an example I used before, if someone was like, hey, what's the shipping status, or how long is it gonna take to ship? In this situation, it would automatically get responded to without you even having to do anything. The software would
Right.
recognize what you're asking and give them this answer completely, if I were completely doing something else and not even working on my business.
Exactly. Or even better, you could have your customer just help themselves. And what I mean by that is because of our integration with Shopify here, we have a self-service portal just enabled through our chat widget on our website where
Hmm.
they can actually just enter. And what it looks like on a demo website here is the customer goes to the website, they're looking for the brand's information because they want to know the status of their order. Rather than starting a conversation, they see this track and order button here. I don't have an order. This is not a real store, but
Right.
I would enter my information here and then it would pull up all my previous orders and you would see, okay, it's in transit or maybe it's delayed or something, or it's been delivered. So they can actually get the status of their own order. And then if they wanted to report an issue or something, they can easily just click report issue and that will open a ticket as well.
Yeah, this is awesome. Like that's a huge time saver. And I'm pretty sure, like you said, you talked about a brand like Steve Madden where I'm pretty sure they get a significant amount of orders a day. But having
Mm-hmm.
that as even from the customer side, like a lot of times you don't want to have to wait on the email to come back. So just an option to be like, hey, let me just see how long it's gonna be before these shoes get here, and not
Yeah.
having to go back and forth, and I can just get the answer and leave. It's super convenient. So I think it's good on the customer side as well. One more question I have for you too was, so once your store starts to use your all software in the beginning, you provide like, I guess, basic training or like a demo of how to use the software, because I know a lot of people are like, hey, this is great software, but I would have someone else. I'd have Tommy doing this, right? He would be the one to use the software. Do you all do like 30-minute trainings, or hey, here's how to get started and get set up?
Yeah, we do 3 live webinars every single week, ongoing. So anytime a customer or anytime a client signs up for Gorgias and they want to train their agents on it, we'll actually take over the training so they don't have to worry about it. Then if they're anytime, say they sign up today and a year later, they're ramping up for the holiday season, they add on 3 more agents. Again, they can just send them to those live webinars. They're also recorded as well. We can send them the recordings, but it's just an ongoing service of being a Gorgias customer is that they're always going to get trained.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. I mean, those are like the main things I really wanted to touch. If you wanted to add some things that I might not have known about or I missed, I'm all ears as well.
I mean, there's a lot to Gorgias. I'll just point out quickly a couple key things here. With the macros, you can also attach actions to them as well. So say someone needs to cancel their order. I would click on this cancel order macro, and you can see this number 2 in the box down here. What's happening is when I click send, it's not only notifying the customer, but it is actually canceling, restocking, and refunding, or maybe you just wanted to refund. It's actually going and doing that in Shopify too, so it's not an extra step the team needs to take.
So what you're saying is once that email is sent to the customer, instead of going back into Shopify and actually manually canceling the order, it'll just do it from you because it's already integrated with your store.
Right. It'll take care of that for you.
This is perfect.
The other thing is a lot of Shopify owners out there are using a lot of other apps out there besides Gorgias too, and we have native integrations with tons of them. So really, we have, we integrate with Klaviyo, we have Smile and Yotpo integrated in here, for example. I believe we may have loop returns as well. But really, once you start plugging in all those different apps to the Gorgias, you're really making this the center of your customer experience. And why that's important to you is because you can then leverage all this data on the right-hand sidebar here when you're having conversations with customers to really personalize it to them, for those maybe those pre-sale conversations where you want to spend a little bit more time versus people just asking about order updates. You also have this omni-channel view of who, of the customer timeline, kind of like a CRM-like view. Of all the other times they've messaged you and on any other channel too. So it's not like every time a customer messages in, it's like they're talking to you the very first time. You have all these previous messages and data on them as well. And then the other thing too is
that's big too.
It is big because then you can make maybe someone messages in, they have a quick question. You could see they previously left a 5-star review on this one item. They really like it. So you could say, hey, by the way, we're actually having a sale on this item that you love. Here's a 15% off coupon or something. Just another opportunity to make a sale.
Exactly, it is. And knowing, like you said, knowing something like that, if they've ordered the same product 3 times, right, or refill the same product, or even maybe suggested, hey, if you subscribe to this particular product, you would be saving 10% every month instead of you buying it individually. Like those upsell opportunities as well. And then, like you just said, if you just want to get a particular sale and you can say, hey, I noticed you bought this a couple of times. We're having 15% off if you want to get it today or this weekend. That's another upsell opportunity just because the context of who that customer is, and they actually become a unique customer profile and not just like, oh, I don't know this person, this name. It's just a customer with no context.
Yeah, I would say our customers that are operating, that are bringing in the most sales are the ones that are there via support, are the ones that are operating as like a sales function because they're able to personalize that experience. And they're actually tracking the revenue made here in our Gorgias statistics dashboard here. So that they can actually track okay, this person messaged in to us and then we had a conversation with them and then went on to purchase from our store within the following 5 days. Gorgias statistics will actually track that revenue to that support agent. So you can see how much revenue is being driven by the customer support team, which is a great morale boost for them. It's great for customer support agents to showcase to the leadership as well, saying, hey, we're actually bringing in revenue for you guys as well. And also we have a lot of brands that are paying commission and bonuses off of these numbers as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge because again, you can prove how hey, this is what we're doing before. Since we've started utilizing Gorgias, or since we've started interacting with the customers this way, we actually are doing 10% more, 15% more sales a month. Or hey, since we've started to get these responses down in under 10 minutes, we've got an additional $5,000 a month or whatever in sales. Things like that you can track. And I'm big on tracking back to what works. And I think
Hmm.
this is customer service, in my opinion, is the number one thing that gets looked over in terms of what is another way that you're losing sales, right? Because it's hard to track it if you don't have anything that shows you, hey, this person messaged you, but it was like 8 hours before you responded to them. And a lot
Hmm.
of people don't even know that that's occurring. So thanks for this is a great like overview. I'm gonna put a description to the link to sign up for Gorgias. Like I think if you're doing especially 5 or 6 figures a month in revenue, I couldn't find a reason why you wouldn't use a tool like this. From a business perspective, you're more organized. Here are the plans that you have here as well, depending on how many tickets you have a month. Um, but this is amazing software. So I'm glad, Laura, you walked us through this, and I'm excited to refer to some more people.
Yay, I love to hear that. And yeah, anyone, these are our pricing plans here. Our pricing is very transparent on our website. Anyone that signs up through your link, we will actually give them their second and third month of Gorgias for free. So it's just a special
Oh,
perk for your clients. They can't get that if they just go to our website and book a demo or sign up at one of our events or through an ad or something. So make sure they use your link. And we'll also give them a 7-day free trial. And then there's a 30-day money back guarantee too. So if for some reason they don't want to move forward after 30 days, we will refund them, no questions asked.
yeah. So guys, go ahead and get started on a 7-day trial. Use the link in the description so you can get a couple of months for free. Why not get it for free, especially something like this? And then you have training as well, which is I'm big on training when it comes to software. So, and the customer service, even on my end, has been great. So yeah, I will link to this, and hope you guys jump on board and get your business organized and be able to scale higher and farther.
All right, guys, so that was the Gorgias software review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna leave a link below for the actual program, the actual software, so you can click on that. And if you are ready to incorporate that into your business, I think it's gonna be a lot of help. So go ahead and look in the description below this video if you're looking at it on YouTube, and go ahead and try Gorgias out. They have a great support team. I've been able to talk to them, but I think it's a really good software that could really help you scale your business to the next level and get back your time. So again, this has been Steve with Momentum Marketing Tips. I'll talk to you on the next video. Take care.